Erev Tov Rabotai, we are continuing with our Mishna Yomi, Masechet Yevamot. We are up to Perek Yud Mishnah Chet. Today's Mishnah should be Le'elu Nishmat Neria ben Svetlana Ranbayev, Eliyahu ben Burcha Israelov and Chana ben Maryam Menuchatam Began Eden Amen, and Le'avdi ben Chaim Lechaim for the Refuah Shelemav Daniel Shalom ben Rosa and Mariana Miriam Chaya Batamara B'Tor Shah Chulei Israel. The disagreement in yesterday's Mishnah between the Tana Kama and Rabbi Shimon about how to view the cohabitation of a 9-year-old boy also affects the case of a 9-year-old Yavam who cohabits with both widows of his brother. Ben Tesha Shanim V'Yom Echad Sheba Livimto, if a boy of 9 years and 1 day cohabited with his Yavama, V'achagach Bal Tzaratah, and afterward cohabited with her co-wife, Pasal Alidei Atzmo, he disqualifies both Yevamot to himself. Since his cohabitation created a partial marriage bond with both Yevamot, he is forbidden to both of them. The Tana Kama considers a boy's cohabitation with his Yavama like an adult's ma'amal, like we learned in yesterday's Mishnah. Therefore, just as when an adult brother makes ma'amal with one widow and then with the other they both become forbidden to him, as we saw in chapter 5 Mishnah 1, so too when a 9-year-old cohabits with one widow and then with the other they both become forbidden to him. Rabbi Shimon Omer, but Rabbi Shimon says, Lo Pasali does not disqualify the first Yevamah to himself. Like we explained in the previous Mishnah, Rabbi Shimon holds that an underage boy's cohabitation with his Yevamah is questionable. It either makes her his wife completely, or it has no effect at all. If it has no effect, then neither one becomes forbidden to him, and when he becomes an adult, he may perform Yibum with either one. If his cohabitation with the first Yevamah took full effect, she became his wife, and there was no longer Yibum bond between him and the second Yevamah. So his cohabitation with the second Yevamah was simply a forbidden act that has no effect on his marriage to his wife. The Mishnah now gives another case in which the fact that a 9-year-old's cohabitation with his Yevamah is treated like ma'amar has an effect. Ben Tesha Shanim V'Yom Echad Sheba Livimto V'Met. If there were three brothers and the first one died, and then his brother, who was a boy of 9 years and 1 day, cohabited with his Yevamah, and then he too died, the widow must perform chalitza with the third brother, but may not be taken by him in Yibum. Since a 9-year-old's cohabitation with his Yevamah is treated only as ma'amar, it created only a partial marriage with her, which did not completely erase the original Yibum bond. Therefore, when the 9-year-old dies, the widow is now bound to the third brother by 2 Yibum bonds, one from the first brother and one from the partial marriage of the 9-year-old. And we learned earlier in chapter 3, Mishnah 9, that a man may not marry his Yevamah if he has Yibum bonds with her from 2 different brothers. Had the second brother been an adult, his cohabitation with his Yevamah would have created a full marriage with her and would have completely erased the original Yibum bond. Therefore, when he too died, his widow would have only 1 Yibum bond with the third brother. But since he was 9 years old, his cohabitation created only a partial marriage and did not erase the previous Yibum bond. Therefore, when he dies, there are 2 Yibum bonds attaching his wife to a third brother. Now, the Mishnah's ruling here presumes that a 9-year-old's cohabitation creates a partial marriage. Like we mentioned, Rabbi Shimon disagrees with that, so he would dispute this part of the Mishnah as well. The Mishnah states the law for a 9-year-old who marries a woman who is not his Yevamah. Nasai Shavamet, if a 9-year-old married a regular woman and then died, Harezu Ptura, even if he cohabited with her, she is exempt from both Yibum and Chalitza, because his marriage to anyone other than his Yevamah takes no effect at all. Therefore, she was never legally his wife. And that is in Mishnah Chet. Mishnah 10 now discusses another case with 3 brothers that is similar to the second case of the previous Mishnah. Ben Tesha Shanim V'Yom Echad Sheba Livimto, if a man died childless and his brother, who was a boy of 9 years and 1 day, cohabited with his Yevamah, and after the boy became an adult, he married another woman and then died without children, so that both his widows fell for Yibum to a third brother. The law is as follows. If the boy never cohabited with the first woman, his Yevamah, after he became an adult, the first woman performs chalitza with the third brother, but may not be taken by him in Yibum, since she has a double Yibum bond with him. Her cohabitation with the boy before he became an adult is treated as ma'amar and made her partially his wife without fully erasing her Yibum bond. Therefore, when the boy dies, the first woman has 2 Yibum bonds to the third brother, one from the first brother and one from the boy who cohabited with her. This is essentially the same as the case discussed in the previous Mishnah. But our Mishnah stresses that the boy never cohabited with Yevamah after he became an adult, because if he had, that would have created a full marriage between him and the Yevamah and erased the Yibum bond she had from her first husband's death. So when he died childless, it would have been an ordinary case of an adult brother who left two widows. So again, if the boy never cohabited with the first woman after he became an adult, the first woman performs chalitza with the third brother but may not be taken by him in ibum, since she has a double ibum bond with him. And the second woman, the wife he married after he became an adult, may either perform chalitza or be taken in ibum, since she has only one ibum bond. The only ibum bond between them is from her marriage to the boy after he became an adult. She was never married to the first brother. The third brother must actually do both. He must perform chalitza with the first woman and either chalitza ibum with the second. And this is because on a biblical level, the first woman was actually married only to the first brother, since her cohabitation with the 9-year-old created only a rabbinic level marriage. The second woman, on the other hand, was married only to the second brother after he became an adult. So on the biblical level, the two women were not co-wives, and the chalitza of the first one cannot help for the second one. She needs her own yibum or chalitza. Our Mishnah disagrees with the ruling of chapter 3, Mishnah 9, which says that when a woman falls to yibum with yibum bonds in her, neither she nor her co-wife can receive yibum. Now Rabbi Shimon disagrees. Rabbi Shimon says, the third brother may perform yibum with whichever woman he wishes, and then perform chalitza with the other one. We learned in the previous Mishnah that Rabbi Shimon is unsure whether a 9-year-old's cohabitation creates a full marriage or none at all. If it does create a full marriage with her, then it completely erased the ibum bond from her marriage to the first brother. When the boy then grew up and married the second woman and died, it was a simple case of someone who left two widows, where the living brother may perform yibum or chalitza with one of them and thereby free the other. On the other hand, if the 9-year-old's cohabitation did not create a marriage at all, then he never married the first brother's widow, and his only wife was the woman he married as an adult. So if so, each widow fell to the third brother for yibum as the wife of a different brother, and the third brother has only one yibum bond with each of them. Since either possibility might be correct, the only solution is for the third brother to marry one woman and give chalitza to the other, or give chalitza to both. He cannot marry both, since it's possible they were both married to the second brother, and he is not allowed to marry both. He also cannot perform yibum with one and not give the other chalitza, since it is possible that one of them was not married to the second brother, and each must be freed separately. Therefore, he can perform yibum with one, and must then give chalitza to the other. The Mishnah has until now spoken of the age of the boy. However, there is also another factor that is needed to make a boy an adult: 2 pubic hairs, meaning he must also show signs of maturing physically, and this is demonstrated by growing at least 2 hairs in his pubic area. The Mishnah states the law about this: Echad shu ben 9 shanim v'yom echad. All of the laws taught above regarding a Yavam who is not an adult apply whether he is 9 years and 1 day old, or whether he is 20 years old and has not yet grown 2 pubic hairs. Either way, he is not considered an adult. A boy becomes an adult only when he reaches the age of 13 and grows 2 pubic hairs. Even a 20-year-old who has not grown them is not considered an adult. All the rulings stated in our Mishnahs regarding a 9-year-old Yavam apply to this 20-year-old as well. Once he reaches the age of 20, though, it depends. If he has physical signs of being a saris, a man incapable of having children, he's considered an adult. If he does not, he becomes an adult at age 35. And that is in Rabotai today's Mishna Yomi. Baruch Adonai Leolam. Amen v'amen.